So today marks a special number episode for the Financial Mirror. This is the 100th episode, and I could not have continued the growth that I've seen over the past few years if it wasn't for all my listeners and all the clients that I've worked with. Today I have a special episode that I want to discuss something that has allowed me to see so many clients succeed over the years. I'm going to dive into financial coaching and how it could potentially help you achieve your financial goals. This is going to be a fun episode. I hope you enjoy this celebratory episode of The Financial Mirror. Let's jump into number 100.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror. Where future success is reflected in our knowledge of fixing the one thing we can control, ourselves.
How's it going? Hopefully everyone's having a great weekend. As you heard in the intro, this is a special episode as it marks the 100th episode since I started the Financial Mirror. Thank you for joining me today on the Financial Mirror as we continue to work on improving the one thing you can control yourself. You would think after 100 episodes I'd have that, down packed, but all in all, we are good to go. If this is the first time that you're joining in, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube to be notified of all the new episodes as they release. If you are listening to this on a podcast platform of your choice, don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. Both of those things go a long way in helping more listeners find this stream just as you did. If you are wanting to show a little bit extra support, go ahead and share it with every single person that you know. I could not be happier. I can't believe that this marks the 100th episode since I started the Financial Mirror. And I want to take a moment to really just look back to sort of how this all started. A lot of people may have joined in maybe at episode 50 or episode 30 or episode 70 or 90 or whatever. And you may not exactly understand the progression of where the Financial Mirror has gone, right? So I wanted to go through that today. I wanted to give you an idea, just sort of the celebratory moment of where Financial Mirror came from, how it got started, and ultimately I want to talk to you about financial coaching, which was what I originally didn't have. I guess I didn't have it in mind, but all of a sudden that's what it became. It became a financial coaching practice where I now have helped tons of clients achieve whatever their financial goals are. So the stream is just a part of what the Financial Mirror is. So the YouTube and the Facebook and the podcast, all of these things are just a piece of what the Financial Mirror entails. There is a whole separate coaching practice that I do, and I want to talk to you about that and sort of what got me there, what sort of pushed me to want to go into to start doing financial coaching. So I want to start off with this picture. This was a picture of my initial setup when I first got started. So I got started back in 2020 in Hawaii, and that's when the whole entire world was locked down. I think that like I said, if you're first joining in, this may be the first time you've heard this story, but it all started right there in Hawaii when I had this vision. I had this vision of helping people. I had this vision of helping people achieve the financial success that they deserve, right? That's what I wanted. That's what I truly wanted to get after. So I was hearing, stories of people from, individuals or families or whatever that were not able to get ahead financially. They continued to struggle financially. And one day, after listening to all of this, I was having dinner with my fiance, and I just started brainstorming. I was like, how can I take an approach to provide some type of assistance to these individuals, these families that are struggling financially? I was like, I've got to figure something out. I don't know what it is, but I can do something. I can help people in some capacity. And I wanted to provide that assistance. So that's sort of where that all became, right? Like I wanted to help people stop letting money control them. I wanted to have a sense of purpose to say, I can help you achieve whatever that financial goal is. I personally have walked through different phases of my financial journey. I've seen ups and downs. I have seen multiple time and time again, multiple families that have come out of some type of financial struggle. And I wanted to be there to help people achieve that because I know it's possible. I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times. And I knew that if I could be there for those people, I could change their lives. And I wanted to be there for that. It wasn't for you to be famous on YouTube. It wasn't to be the number one podcast listened to on Apple or Spotify or whatever. It was never about that. And it's never going to be about that. It's simply put that I want to help people change their lives. I want people to continue to work on improving the only thing that they can control, and that's themselves. You can't control what inflation is. You can't control what anything that's going on around you is, but what you can control is yourself, how you prepare, and how you react to different situations. So that's sort of how I created the financial mirror. I created around that thing. I had this original dream that I was going to create videos and I was going to talk about different financial topics and current events that I heard people struggling with. I wanted to go on the simple practice of I wanted to be relevant in a sense of what I'm talking about is what I'm hearing people discuss as being issues. So just in conversation, if I hear an issue, I'm like, oh, I can make an episode out of that. Or maybe something comes up in the news. I'm like, oh, I need to talk about that. I need my listeners to understand what that means or what that could mean for them or their loved ones. That was where this whole dream came from. That was where I had this idea that I wanted to do this, but I didn't really know how I was going to accomplish it. So I started out back then, I was on Twitch because I'd streamed video games way earlier in life. And I was like, oh, I already have I'm already an affiliate on Twitch. I can already, make money. And I was like, oh, well, if I can make money, it can help improve the stream. It can help buy new hardware that I would need to make a better stream. And I started on that avenue, but then I was like, well, Twitch is not to have that big of an audience of what I'm really looking for. It's not really the people that I'm wanting to reach out to. Not saying that Twitch doesn't have people that have financial problems that are struggling or want to achieve certain financial success, but it just didn't have the viewership and the outreach that I was really looking for. So I ended up switching to YouTube and Facebook, and that's sort of how I got there. But that was my original dream, create these videos. What I didn't realize back then was that was only the beginning. I was only going to start out as creating these videos. Then all of a sudden I got feedback. And I got feedback from people saying, oh, I love the videos, but I kind of want to listen on the go. And YouTube and Facebook, I just don't really have that ability. Is there some other way that you can get this message out? Well, sure. That's how I started the podcast. So now I have podcast. It's on every major podcast platform. So regardless of if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple or TuneIn or Audible or wherever you're finding the stream, it's out there. It's available for you to listen to. No matter where you're at, no matter how busy your life gets, now it's available. So I never had a dream of starting a podcast. That wasn't my intention. But I wanted to ensure that I took that feedback from individuals, then I could take my message to where people were able to listen where they were at. They were able to gain the knowledge they needed from wherever they are. And that was what I did. So I did that for a few months. And I just started doing the stream and the podcast. And then I decided it was time to take another step, right? Like I didn't want to stop there. I signed up for, I saw some articles out there and they were talking about this Dave Ramsey preferred financial coaching program. And I was like, oh, well, I should go through that. And I should Dave Ramsey has been a influential part of my financial journey. So I was like, well, that'd be a great way. I've got personal experience from being a part of the Ramsey community. I've gone through financial peace. I've gone through all these things, years back, and I've got an understanding and I like his practice and his teachings. Maybe I should go through this financial coaching program. So I pondered on it for a while. And then I finished it. I finished up my financial master training program, finished that course, and this unlocked a whole new opportunity to help people with their finances. It was more than just talking through YouTube and Facebook and podcasts. After I went through that course, it really opened up my financial coaching services and busted them wide open. And I had clients that were coming in. I had to build out a whole new website to be able to book and accept payments and things of that nature. I started on Fiverr as a client generation source, and that just took off on Fiverr. Probably the number one source for you to book my services has been through Fiverr when it's not through the website. But since then, I've built a solid client base, and I've helped people get out of debt. I've helped people plan for retirement, build their investment portfolios, improve budgeting, and so much more, right? What I can say is this. Today, I want to discuss the financial mirror on this 100th episode, and I've given you this backdrop. I've given you this reason. I've given you my why. I've given you the purpose for why I started this and what makes me continue to want to do it, because it's not about the money. It absolutely isn't about any money made. It isn't about YouTube content creation. It isn't about any of that. Like, I could truly care less. What I want to do is help you change your financial future, because you can. And I want to be that act of hope that shows you that you can. I've seen it already. So no matter where you stand financially, no matter how bad you think your finances are compared to the other person's or your neighbors or your friends or your family members, like, your situation is not impossible. And I promise you that I have walked into situations that the client literally thought, this situation is impossible. How can you help me? And we did it together. And that's what I want to do for you. That's what I know a financial coach can do for you. It doesn't have to be me. It can be any financial coach. And that's the reason why I can purposely and honestly say that it doesn't have to be me. It can be any financial coach. But what I do know is that working with someone that has your best interests at heart, that just wants to help you, can change your financial future. And that's what I want for you. Whether it's through me or any other financial coach that's out there, I know that financial coaches work. I don't want to waste the opportunity to help you as a listener change your financial future for the better. I don't want to miss that opportunity. And that's what I want to show you today. I want to show you how a financial coach can help you. Because for many people, they don't even know what it is. Right? So that's where I want to start. What is a financial coach? Well, first off, I believe that this is the part that has many people curious. What's a financial coach? It's a great question. And I understand you're like, well, you got this financial coach master training, but what's a financial coach? Well, it's literally, I want to compare it to a personal trainer. So when you think personal trainer, now you have a good idea of what it is that a financial coach is, right? Like, you know what a personal trainer is. You go to a personal trainer, you have a goal, right? And this could be a goal to lose weight, to build muscle, or just improve your overall health, right? The goal of this trainer is to put a plan together that is going to help you achieve that goal. Whatever your goal is, they're going to help you achieve it. So they're going to do things like tell you when you're not on track. They're going to hold you accountable at all times, when their sole purpose is for you to succeed. So they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to tell you when you're not on track, because they want to see you reach your goals. So put that in the perspective of a financial coach or financial trainer. If you want to just flop personal and financial, I don't care what you do with it, but it's the same thing. A financial coach or trainer, they're going to help you from a financial perspective. You're going to come to them with a financial goal, pay off debt, build wealth, invest, save for retirement, build a retirement plan, save for your kids' college, whatever, house payment, house down payment, like whatever your financial goal is, that you're going to come to that financial coach, financial trainer with that goal. And the coaching sessions are ultimately conversations. The conversations are going to go talk about what it's going to take for you to get there. You're going to discuss any issues that you currently may be facing. We're going to discuss how we can get you on track when you get off track. But ultimately, they're going to be there to hold you accountable and help guide you on a plan that you together put together, right? So when clients come to me, they come to me with a goal. Obviously, I could start solutioning. I could start coming up with solutions in my head of how we can fix this. But that's not how I do business. I do business from the sense of I want you to understand the plan. I want you to have buy-in on the plan. I want you to ultimately build the plan. I'm just going to guide the conversations, right? I just want to come at it from a sense of that I can teach you how to plan financially, and all of a sudden you're successful, even when I'm gone. When our sessions are over, you're successful. And that's, one of the main things. But one important thing to keep in mind with financial coaching is that it's the true goal isn't just to tell you what to do. And that's the part I'm getting at. The ultimate goal is to teach you. The ultimate goal is to teach you along the way. So after your coaching sessions are over, you're going on with your life. You're going to continue to make financially smart decisions in the absence of that coach. So what is a financial coach not? Like, what is it that this is not, you're not going to get out of it? Well, pretty easy. I gave you the overview, and I can sum it up in a few words, but it is not going to be someone that's going to tell you what stocks to buy. I am not going to sit there and tell you how you should set up, your will. Like, you should give your money to this person and this person because of the friendship that y'all have. Like, I'm not going to give you that level of, I'm not going to advise you on what you need to do. That's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to guide the conversation so that you can understand why you would do one thing over the other. And then ultimately you're going to make that decision for yourself of what's in your best interest. Now, if you came to me and you said, oh, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to say, well, you could do that, but here's some of the things that could happen when you do that, right? And that's just me having the financial knowledge of experience, the financial knowledge of trainings, the financial knowledge of just being involved in the market to say, this is what could happen, and I want you to be aware of that. Now, that's the benefit to you, right? Because had I not been there, you may have just done that and not known what your outcomes could have been. But ultimately, what I'm not going to do is just tell you, hey, this is what you have to do. I'm never going to do that. It's like, I'm not going to be there just to do everything for you, right? I'm not going to build your budget for you. I'm not going to do all these things for you. I want you to buy in. I want you to understand why we're doing things the way we're doing them. So because honestly, that's like me saying your goal is to lose weight, but your personal trainer runs on the treadmill for you. Like, it doesn't work. Like, you're not going to be successful. As soon as the personal trainer gets off the treadmill, you've lost no weight and you have no idea what you need to be doing, right? I guess you do know you need to be running on the treadmill, but I guess you don't know how, right? Because they weren't there to tell you where you're going wrong. But ultimately, that sums up for what it's not. It's not going to be someone that's going to sit there and just, do every single thing for you. But how can it help? How can a financial coach truly help you? So ultimately, how I can help you as a financial coach is to simply ask questions. But more importantly, what I want to know is, what is your financial goal? That's how we're going to start. We're going to start with, what is your financial goal? Because ultimately that's going to be, how can I help you? If I don't understand what your financial goal is, it's almost impossible for me to help you. People come to me and they tell me they want to start investing, right? And I know investing is fun. Investing is truly fun, but the same client could have $50,000 in debt built up. So that's where me as a financial coach, I get to have the option to step in, and I'm going to, and say, hey, we need to focus on the short-term thing first. We need to pay off this debt first. We got to focus on the debt payoff. We'll invest later. And that's hard for me to say sometimes, but what I can do to help you is for you to tell me your goals, and then let me build a plan of how the steps we could take to get you to those goals, right? Because that's the biggest thing is that you've got to understand that there's a there's a procedure, there's a process, there's steps, and there's sequential steps that need to go in order when we're starting to reach these financial goals. And ultimately, that's where I can help you. But what if you don't know what your goal is? Like, what if you absolutely have zero idea? You're like, well, I don't really know what my goal is, like, because sometimes people do. They come and they very much know exactly what they want to do. Like, hey, man, I really just want to get this debt out from under me. Cool, let's do it. We're gonna get you out of debt. Or maybe someone comes to me and says, hey, I just really want to save for a down payment. I have no debt. I want to buy a house. Can you walk me through making sure that I'm doing everything right in this house buying process? Sure, I got you. Let's do it. We hop in those together. Those are quick in a sense that the conversations are very direct. They know exactly what they want, and I'm going to go after it. Now, what if they don't know? Well, honestly, I believe this is where free consultations come in, right? This is where free consultations can really benefit you. And when I say free, I literally mean free. But during a free consultation, we simply have a conversation. You're not going to get any type of financial, there's not going to be any financial progress made during your free consultation. And I want to throw that out there. What that free consultation does is it allows for me and you to have a conversation so that I can understand where you are financially, right? Then all of a sudden, as we discuss those details, we're going to uncover exactly what your financial goal could be. And I'm saying could be because ultimately you need to decide it, not me. I don't need to tell you that your financial goal should be to save $50,000. You're like, well, what do I need $50,000 for? Like, why do I need to save that? Well, you need to buy a house. Well, why do I need to buy a house? Like, if that's not a goal of yours, like, I'm not going to tell you to do it. But when we start to have a conversation during that free consultation, we start to uncover these things, and all of a sudden you will have this aha moment that says, that's what my financial goal is. That's what I need to be working on. Right. And you don't have to think about it. You don't have to know what it is before we get in. I will help guide that conversation. I will help ensure that we stay on track and that we understand what's going to come out of that. But that's what the free consultation is. Some don't sign up for the consultation because they're shy or they don't want to talk about their finances. I want to tell you that I've done this for a long time. I will lead the conversation, so you don't have to worry about, being shy. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to guide the conversation. You don't have to even think about, these awkward moments of silence. I'm not going to let that happen to you. I'm going to ask it, and it's just a conversation. Now, when it comes to, your comfort level with talking about finances, sure, I understand that can be an uncomfortable conversation. But what I also understand is that not having those conversations can just hold you hostage financially. So having the ability to come to someone that you trust, and if you will just have that trust in me, as many other clients have had in me, all of a sudden we can start to work through and build that a little bit more of that trust. I can show you why that trust should exist, and all of a sudden we can start to make progress on your finances in the grand scheme of things. But ultimately, no matter what your goal is, I am sure that me as a financial coach can help you get there. A few goals that I've seen along the way, and I want to throw these out there. So maybe you do deep down kind of have financial goals. You just don't know how to put them into words. A couple that or the most common that I help people with is obviously number one is getting out of debt. If you're in debt, I'm telling you, there is light at the end of that tunnel. Just know that it takes time. But I've helped multiple clients get out of debt. I mean, tons of clients get out of debt. Improving budgeting. Budgeting is something as a cornerstone of finances. And if you are good at budgeting, or if you will just consistently budget, you will feel and you will actually have more control over your money. So improving budgeting is something I've helped multiple clients with. Saving for kids' college, planning for retirement, saving for a house or even buying a house, building wealth, right? That's a big one that a lot of people come to me with, is they just want to build wealth. They don't really know how. So all of a sudden we have those conversations. We can get them put on the right track. And then getting started with investing or increasing their investing, all of those things and so much more. I can help you with as you navigate your financial journey. So I want to end with this. So we talked a lot about it, this 100th episode, how I got started with the financial mirror, where it's gone to, and ultimately how a financial coach can help you. But I want to end with this. Finances are a muscle. It is something that you have to work out if you want to improve it. And I'm not kidding when I say it. It is a muscle and it will atrophy very, very quickly. I mean, it will get smaller and smaller and smaller if you don't work it out. What I can tell you is this, is as your financial coach, I want to help ensure that you are constantly training that muscle. And I want to ensure that you're doing it correctly. I want to ensure that that financial muscle stays strong, because once that is conditioned, you will no longer need me as a financial coach. I'm confident in that. You will no longer need me to be there with you along the way, because ultimately you will know exactly what you need to do based on the conversations we've had. You will know exactly what that next step is based on the conversations we had. All of those consultations, all of those sessions together will all start to click, and you'll be like, wow, I feel on top of my finances. And you'll all of a sudden have this innate ability to make great financial decisions because that muscle is so strong, right? And the best part about it is working out is the same as if you wanted to start building muscle or losing weight. By putting this off until next month, it's only going to delay your results another month. Don't put off signing up and getting a financial coach today. If you are needing help achieving any of those financial goals that you have, don't wait another day. Every day that you wait is another day that it's going to take you to get you to where you want to be financially, right? Every single day you wait is another day that you're going to be delayed in getting to whatever that is, that house down payment, buying that car, paying off that debt, saving for your kids' college, planning for retirement. All of these things, they're only going to be delayed if you delay signing up for a financial coach. So I'm going to end this the same way I end all of them. This is the first episode. You know, this isn't a sales pitch by any means, but what I want to do is give you the tools and the things necessary if this is something you want to dive into. So if you already take control of your finances and get you on the right path, I want you to know that you can head over to thefinancialmirror.org. Right in the middle of the screen, there's a book now button. Go ahead and hit that book now, and you will be scheduling your free consultation today. Once you book that consultation, we just had a whole little segment where I talked and discussed about what you can expect from that consultation. So that's what I want you to understand. That free consultation is going to be just a really good goal identifier, just to really more or less see if a financial coach is right for you. If we determine that it is, great. We'll get you signed up, put you onto one of the financial coaching packages, and you will be on your way to achieving those financial goals. Now, if you want to give a little extra dose of support to the stream, you can also go over to thefinancialmirror.org/shop and pick you up some awesome financial mirror gear. Last but not least, I cannot say this enough, but I truly want to thank you all for tuning in for the last 100 episodes. If you caught me episode whatever, I appreciate you still listening to the stream to this day at episode 100. If today is the first episode that you have found the Financial Mirror, I appreciate it, and it would truly mean a lot if you would subscribe, like, comment, and share this with all the people that you can imagine needing help with their finances on a weekly basis. I put out new episodes every single week. The stream goes out on Sunday. The podcast releases on Tuesday, and that's the way that it goes. But all in all, leaving the 5-star review on the podcast, written comments on the videos, written comments on the podcast, all of those things go a long way in just helping getting this message out to more and more people. What I want is for people to find financial happiness. I want them to be successful financially, and that's what I know a financial coach can do. That's how I know a financial coach can help you. So don't wait. If that's something you want to get into, head over to thefinancialmirror.org and let's get started today. Till next week, continue improving the one thing you can control, yourself. Peace.
Well, that wraps up today's Financial Mirror. Join us next week as we continue to work on ourselves, change our mentality, and to commit to achieving the success we always envisioned. Regardless of your platform, help us grow as a community. Please like, subscribe, and share with the people in your lives.